A couple of years ago, I started to follow travel content when I stumbled upon the hashtag Passport Bros back when it went viral. And a young black dude was being interviewed about by Fox Soul about the whole movement. And then I discovered multiple other channels. Now, there were plenty of travelers that didn't use the hashtag Passport Bros, but the ones that did were 99.9% black. And the ones that still use it are 99.9% black. Now, why do I bring that up? Well, it's because I came across this story where they called this white dude a passport bro. And I've noticed with a couple of stories, the Young Turks did a story about passport bros, and it was just another opportunity for them to, talk about white dudes. And a couple of other uh, big YouTube channels have done the same thing. And again, they're usually coming from, the typical liberal, specifically white liberal perspective, which is to demonize anything that men do that has the audacity to make them happy. But I also wonder, are they purposely ignoring the fact that this whole passport bro thing is pretty much all black? In fact, I remember coming across a channel that was trying to do a show called Passport Bros, and they were two non black guys, and a black guy who apparently owns the trademark sort of sent them a warning about doing a show. And so they had to rename it. So again, it just goes to further show how much this passport bro is a black thing. But it seems like the white liberals that cover this, because of their little woke hierarchy, they'll attack the white dudes and just label them passport bros while ignoring the fact that it's mostly black dudes. And funny enough, it's mostly black dudes who complain about American women, particularly black American women, while still acting like the very black women they claim to not like. Because, what I've discovered through these channels and live streams featuring these guys, they bicker online, and then in some instances, they look for physical confrontation. And when they're not doing that, they're doing the typical blame whitey. I mean, you can look up plenty of Passport Bro videos, and is always asking questions about whether black men are liked by women in this country and in that country. And when you listen to some of the videos, and especially some of the live streams, they always default back to what Negroes typically do, which is to blame whitey for their issues that they're having overseas because they view overseas women as favoring white dudes, while at the same time having this fantasy that women across the world prefer black guys. So it's the typical pro black speak. And again, the reason why it's relevant in this particular situation is because with this Chad2Dad guy, he's an older white guy, in Asia, specifically the Philippines, and he picked up one and he brought her back to America, which one of the smart things that they have said in this passport bro movement was that if you meet a woman overseas, you don't bring her back to America. If you're going to take her seriously, or if you want to take her seriously and deal with her full time, then it's best to deal with her in the country that you found her in. Because the fact of the matter is, and I know people are laughing about this situation where he's, you know, dealing with divorce after 2 years of marriage in being America. But the fact of the matter is, the relationship culture, the institution of marriage in Western countries is a blatant atrocity and a scam in favor of the female and not in the favor of the male. And so these predatory women, no matter how sweet and petite they seem, in the country that you go visit them in, if you bring them to America, they're going to be corrupted. And quite frankly, I know people are laughing at this guy, but the fact that she acted like a typical American woman within 2 years, it really is just a poor reflection of this country and how it pretty much emboldens and enables women to take advantage of the institution of marriage in this country. Because, women know that they can exploit this criminal justice system which demands a man to take care of an adult female as if she's a handicapped child, with things like child support and alimony. And I know you hear child support and be like, oh, well, you're supposed to pay for that because that's for the child, right? But we know these women scam that system and they don't use those financials to support the child. They use it to live off of. And so, again, the fact that she turned so quick, it's just a reflection of how corrupt the system is and how every woman with a half a brain knows that they can take advantage of that said system as soon as they get over here. But my main contention with this particular trending story of this guy is that they're labeling him a passport bro. When the reality is, passport bros are black. They're not white guys, especially older white guys in Asia who've been traveling overseas before the term passport bros was invented. But again, they do use these stories, like this Chad2Dad situation, or if someone gets killed overseas, they do use these stories as an opportunity to brand it with the passport bro label, just to, I guess, discredit the narrative of passport bros, which is to explore your options beyond these United States when it comes to dating women. I mean, other people have tried to take it into other directions, but it's primarily for women. It should be for business and other things as well. But that's what it is because the dating situation, the marital situation, it's it's a lose lose for men. Even the outlier happily married man, because again, you can be like Luke, what's his name, the guy that played Incredible Hulk back in the '70s. You can be like him, Luke Ferrigno, I think his name is, and be married all the way into your '70s, and then the woman can still divorce you, and you have to pay her. So there's no advantage whatsoever. And again, that's one of my personal criticisms of the passport bros, which are mostly black dudes. Despite liberalism being the ideology that demonized men to travel overseas, a lot of these nitwits are liberals themselves. And they bring that matrix, as they like to say, they bring that matrix mentality wherever they go overseas. The victimhood ideology, the woe is me, everything's racist, identity politics, the super entitled behavior, thinking that women should fall at your feet because you are an American and black, more so black than anything else. Uh, but again, what should you expect? I mean, after all, whether they're here in the United States or traveling around the globe, they're still black at the end of the day. And unfortunately, most so-called black people default to this, victimhood ideology. But again, I just thought I'd make this video to point out that this guy's not a passport bro. Because passport bros are black guys, not white guys or any other so-called race. There's like a half a percent that's in that space that's not so called black. But again, when you look it up beyond, the trending stories like this, or when the Young Turks covered it, when you look it up, you see that it is mostly black dudes who are seen as and describe themselves as passport bros.